Now, I know you guys have probably seen these two characters before, and if you haven't, then that's why this video exists. Today, I'm just going to be showcasing NIL, and I'm going to be showcasing SANS. These are two characters that got released a while back, limited for 30k fragments each, and they're both really powerful, and I'm going to be showcasing both of them today. Now, before this video starts, 1, you cannot get these characters anymore. These are long gone. 2, that's it, I guess. On to the showcase, and you have to subscribe, or else I'll find you and your family and your home and your... We're gonna start with SANS today. SANS has a total of 10 moves, as you can see, nothing in my inventory. He has Soul Buster, and then I'm not gonna read all the names, I'm just gonna go through them. First of all, we have Soul Buster. Oh, and before I continue, both of these characters are magic-based characters, so you're not gonna have to worry about cringy, like, cooldowns or anything. Yeah, these are both magic-based characters, so you're not gonna have to worry about cooldowns, which is really nice. First of all, we have Soul Buster, which is a melee, which will, I believe, inflict confusion, burn, and then something else, maybe? I don't know, it's a really strong melee, and SANS is so fast that you can just spam it, hug characters, and kind of just kill them with it. It's really good. Next up, we have Perseverance Warp. Now this is, you'll be your dash, except this dash does damage to the opponent if they're in that purple arena. So if we just keep dashing, you can see that this arena appears. You can also kind of like, I don't know, it's just a dash, but it does damage wherever you dash from. So let's say I'm right here, I dash over here, and I did that wrong. Wherever your dash ends, it'll actually explode. So if it ends over here, it'll explode over here. Yeah, it does that. Next up, we have triple DT blasters. Now this is just your traditional Gaster Blaster triple fire. This does a lot of damage and is really spammable if you have the magic for it. However, you could probably see that there's a number down here going down, and what that means is once it hits 0, then there will be a short cooldown before you're able to start using this again, which I think is fair. It balances out the character, and yeah, that's a really good move. Next up, we have Soul Destroyer. This is pretty much the same thing as the Triple Blaster, but just bigger. It has 3 uses before it has to cool down, so you could kind of just use 3 if you have the magic for it. And then you have to wait a cooldown for it to regen. Next up, we have Pure Kindness. Now, this move is just a heal. I mean, it's just a heal. You just click and it heals you. I don't have any damage taken, so you can't see how much it heals. But this is one of those heals you're supposed to spam. Use all your magic, and it puts you all the way back up to full health, which is really nice. Patience Explosion. Now this, I think it freezes the opponent. This will freeze the opponent in this giant ring. I would zoom out more if I could, but I cannot. But it'll freeze the opponent if they're caught in it, giving you time to walk up, hit them, or use a Gaster Blaster, which is really nice. Strike of Justice. I love this move. This is a really cool looking move because it's so spammable. Strike of Justice is able to be clicked once, and it doesn't take that much magic, so you're able to use it a ton, and it does that. So hypothetically, you just spam click it a lot, and you end up with this. Yeah, and it does a really good amount of damage too. So yeah, that's pretty spammable. It's not great for bosses. It's good for like, let me rearrange these so it's easier to explain. I press cap lock. Like if you want to like dash and then you can spam it as you're dashing, you can do that, and it'll just drop like in a line, and it's really powerful. Next up, we have Destructive Bravery. Now this move is also pretty spammable. It spawns a line. You can kind of walk with it. This does damage to people if they're in it over time, so it's pretty good. If you're like trying to run away, you can use this and they'll have to run into it, which is really nice. Integrity Slash. Now this is a cool move. It summons a katana, which will fall and cut a wall. If you couldn't walk through, this would be really cool, but you can. It just does damage. You can kind of spam this one too, along with all the moves. You can also do pretty cool things with it. So like you can do this, and then you can do like just cross-cut things. It's really cool. But you kind of have to like dash around to do that, which I cannot do. But yeah, really nice move. Next up, we have Soul Destroyer, or Soul Slicer, sorry. This move, if it comes in contact with an enemy, it'll explode. This is one of SANS' best moves, in my opinion. You click once. I don't. This is one attack still. It'll fire, I believe, 5. Yeah, it fires 5 slashes. If those hit opponents, they will explode, dealing quality damage. And it's just a general, really nice move, and I like it. And yeah, that is SANS, and we're gonna go to NIL now. And here he is, and here he is, NIL himself. NIL does not have nearly as many moves, but NIL, don't think that NIL isn't broken strong as well. First up, we have Dark Quake. This is a move where you click. Oh, never mind. This is a giant AoE explosion. See, they did rework NIL a little bit ago, and I never actually tested his rework. Or I did, but I didn't really care about it. But yeah, it's a giant explosion which takes about over a little half your total mana. which is alright because once the attack's over, it pretty much is at full again, which is pretty cool. Then NIL has a really good melee. You can click, it's a really rapid melee and it does a lot of damage. Also, all these attacks with these black circles mean they blind the opponent, so the opponent cannot see if you use these. Next up we have Dark Slash. This is a spammable move as well. It takes a lot, but it does a lot as well. It's really cool, I like it. And yeah, that's one of NIL's best moves. Next up we have to wait a second for our mana to go back up because this next move, Dark Propulsion, is the movement method for NIL. It used to be a teleport, but now, or it's like a dash, but it's not. They give him just an increased speed, which I like. It makes it more fair, because if you fought a NIL in a Soul Sands, the battle would literally never end. But yeah, now that they did this, it's kind of more fair. Dark Bombardment, that's how you say English. Dark Bombardment, oh my gosh. Dark move, you click, and it fires giant explosions around you. These will blind and deal tons of damage to opponents, which is really cool, and it's pretty spammable. You can use it, I think, 3 times before having to recharge. I only recommend using it once and then just not wasting all your mana, but yeah, it does a lot. Next up is Click Trap. Cursed, how do you, I can't, it's like white with it, so Cursed Orb. So I don't know exactly what this does. I think if people run into it, it does something. And I don't have friends, so I can't really test that. It takes quite a bit of mana though, and I feel like it would do a lot if you got hit by it. And of course, last we have Dark Illusions. Now this is just a heal move, kind of like Soul Sands. It'll heal if you, depending on your mana. So if we wait 1 second for the mana to go back up a little bit, then we can see that this just heals. Yeah, no, it's just a heal. You can spam. And yeah, that's NIL. And we're gonna end the video right here. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I know it wasn't anything new or special, but there's not really many updates happening in the Undertale community. There will be a video on capability contesting soon, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, other than that, have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Amog!